Tribe Diggy. Tribe Diggy. Murr, go ahead. Go ahead. This is
Okay.
you were asking about the shirt.
The shirt. You on point, Fife? All the time, Tip. I gave it a little something.
Tip.
Are you on? Are you on point, Fife? All of the time, Tip.
All of the time.
I have-
Tip.
I have
He
no
added
idea.
A word.
I have no all of the time, Mr.
All
Tip.
of the time, Tip.
Well, I don't understand the reference. You guys are all gaga over this shirt. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, you Fife Dog and Q-Tip. Does that ring a bell? Does that get the memory jarred a little bit?
So one is a flautist, and the other one is a hygienist. Yeah, sure, yeah.
Those are both true.
That's it. Yeah, who moonlight as successful MCs from the late '80s into the '90s. You're right. You're right.
Okay.
Hip hop artist. So this is a famous lyric from a Tribe Called Quest song.
Okay.
Well, not even a lyric, actually. It's just between verses. I think they were bantering at one another to get each other pumped up. You know?
So here, okay, then let me give it another read. Okay, you on point, Fife? All the time, Tip. Is that closer to reality?
That's
It's a little better.
in your quasi white guy way. Yeah, that hit the notes.
I felt that you tried to add more seasoning to it, and so for that, I'll give you a passing grade.
Let me get down into it. You on point, Fife? All the time, Tip.
Yeah, you went from boiled chicken to like boiled chicken in a stock.
I'm getting into it here. Okay,
Not
hold
a
on.
There you go. Here
You on
we
point,
go.
Fife? All the time, Tip.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
somebody give it to me. Come on, what's
That's
it?
a passing grade. You
Okay,
on point,
all right.
Fife all the time, Tip.
Oh, so
Yeah,
I gotta
it's just very, yeah.
got dull. You on point, Fife? All the time, Tip.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's better. That's
Bam, yeah.
All right, huh?
You went
Look
from
at that.
you went from a C to a B plus.
Okay, all right, there we go. All right, I'll take a B plus. Look, I'm the whitest man alive. I can't. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, but you try. You know what I mean? Actually, I got to take that back because
I like that you got loose for it too.
you
I was
guys
actually getting
remember-
tight for it, man. I was actually like
that
warming
what
up,
it
like I'm 5'8" and I'm going for a fucking dunk. I'm like, I'm gonna get this shit this time. I'm going up high. I'm getting bottom of the net on this one, baby.
Hey, is that one of those adjustable? Pop it down to 7.5. I
I can do
got
8.
it.
I can do 8. I got 8.
Sounds like a man who's giving himself another inch or two. I got you. I got 8 in me. Yeah, you're right. I guess it's just the fact that you're. It kind of reminds me. Do you remember? I think it was TRL. Carson Daly used to. They used to when they had like hip hop artists on. He used to like swap it to the African American. Like, yo, I listened to that album. It was so dope. It's like,
Yeah,
Jesus
we
Christ,
did.
man.
Actually,
Why
we
did
just
you
watched.
do-
We just watched what, like Dark Side of the '90s, I think it was, or Dark Side of the 2000s on Vice, and it was about TRL and very many clips of him like talking to Christina Aguilera like the regular California white guy he is, and then like him dapping up Ja Rule, and like it's very weird.
I mean, look, I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Okay, so what is the appropriate way to handle yourself in a situation like this? Aren't you supposed to here's the question, are you supposed to try to relate to the crowd in the room? Or should you always just be yourself? But aren't you going to get clowned if you don't kind of join up a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's a fine line, right? Like, be yourself, but like, don't like try to assimilate, but don't overdo it. Like,
Yeah.
Don't bust out that line in like the next time you're talking to your fucking black coworker because he's gonna laugh at you. You know what I mean? Like, but
am I appropriating the culture? Am I appropriating the culture if I go into like point Fife and I'm doing this thing like I'm having a spastic fucking attack?
Yeah, that's probably more racist than the original way you tried to say it. But yeah, you should deliver this like you could deliver it normal. I think if you try to gussy it up, you could insult somebody. It depends on the person, I guess, right?
I got to tell you, as somebody who came out of the world of broadcasting, I actually get a little irritated with African American news anchors because I know how they speak off camera and I know how they speak on camera. Baltimore's got a couple notorious guys who are, well, this week in the news down here in the Inner Harbor. And then I've seen clips off the air where it's just like, no, they just talk like most black guys you've ever run into. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I would prefer that you use your normal speaking voice as closely as possible and just articulate your words. I don't give
See,
a
but
shit.
I'm gonna venture a guess that, like, and this is probably long standing in broadcasting, but black guys don't get fucking jobs unless they deliver like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Or do black
there's
guys think
probably
they?
okay.
Do they
I,
think they don't get jobs if they don't deliver like that?
I think if you ask some black broadcasters, they're probably like, we wouldn't have gotten jobs. Like now, probably like if they're new and like 20 something ish and have like a fresh but like them fucking 50, 60-year-old black dudes, like, you know what I mean? Stan Stovall, that guy was not getting that fucking job next to Deborah Wiener for fucking 20 years without talking like he talks. You know what I mean?
I was
His
just saying,
name's probably not even Stan
Scott.
Stovall. It's probably like Jamal fucking Williams. And he was like, Stan Stovall. The fucking people will love it.
I was just saying, like Stuart Scott found a niche when ESPN was, coming alive, starting to get more into the more cultured rather than just a sports show. But it was a sports show. But it was also they were trying to hit a demographic. And in Christ, I mean, I watched it every day. I still do, but not like I did when during my formative years. And Stu Scott, I mean, after he passed away, they made a whole documentary about how he implemented a certain style and a pizzazz to it that news anchors of a certain cloth weren't able to deliver.
But in Stuart Scott, like a perfect example, like as to what I'm talking about, is like Stuart Scott. If you saw him talking normally, he still had that tone of voice, and but he delivered in a I don't know, quote unquote stereotypical professional way.
It is, yeah.
But there was still he wasn't like masking anything. Like, yes, I'm a black man talking. It didn't sound like he was trying to be like a 1950s white man on the newsreel between your Korean War footage.
Yeah, but see, like, you even have the voice because you know that you need it for fucking radio and broadcast. Like, you have to have it in your toolbox.
But the way I talk to you guys is my normal voice. But like when I do that, I'm mocking what we used to do.
I would like to hear a radio broadcast of yours.
It was just this because I did morning shows, so this is just how I talked. You know what I mean?
Also, like my point on Stuart Scott, which I think you're right. Like he probably was the first kind of guy to like, urbanize, if you will, the broadcast. But I also think it's a little bit easier for him because he's broadcasting sports, right? Like
Sure.
He's broadcasting a bunch of black guys parading around for our entertainment. Like it kind of works out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It works in that context.
That's
I think like if Stuart Scott was like, I'm going to be fucking on CNN, I don't think it would have worked. Or Fox News, if you want, if that's your flavor.
But to dial it back, or to go back just a tick or two, I think the idea was Carson Daly had his normal mojo, and then when a hip hop artist came on, he turned. Yeah, man, I listened to that new album, and that was so dope. Give me some daps, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was kind of
any given Sunday.
I think they even talked about it in this like thing we were watching, is that Carson Daly had like kind of a natural street cred with all like artists that came to TRL because he did understand the music. Like that's why, like besides his cookie cutter good look image and like the thing, it worked for what he was looking at. Like he did fucking genuinely like most of the people that were on that show. Like, and then I think towards his later years, like as that shit was kind of running down, he was like, all right, this isn't my music anymore. It's not my, like, I'm now fucking like 30 and these girls are 18. I was like 25, like, I think it just like, it was an interesting take. If you guys get a chance to watch, I think it's only a half an hour too. You should check it out. But yeah, I think that's why
Letterman, I think it was Letterman. I think both Letterman and Leno kind of said like, nah, at some point, you've got to have Selena Gomez on from the Wizards of Waverly Place or whatever the fuck it was. And like,
sure.
I'm aged out of this. I have nothing. Like I could do this presentation show until the day I die. Yeah. But the things I'm presenting are out of my fucking wheelhouse.
People don't want to see me ask this girl fucking this Disney star questions.
Yeah, I can't. I'm 70. I can't flirt with 18-year-olds anymore.
Yeah.
Paul, look at this over here. We got a
Unless you
Glee
let him.
star. We got someone from Glee. What do you think of that, Paul?
Oh, Glee! Ha
He plays a couple chords. Shut the
Oh, you're
fuck
not
up,
from.
Paul.
Walking on sunshine. Whoa!
You know who was the best sidekick ever? It was the skeleton named Jeff that fucking Craig Ferguson had, the robot skeleton. And he was
Craig
just like,
Ferguson. Craig Ferguson was the most underrated late night host of all time.
absolutely, bro.
You knew you were gonna have a fucking banger of an interview when the guest walked out and he ripped up the blue cards and chucked them over his shoulder.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, we're on now, baby. Like, this is somebody he wants to talk to, and it's gonna be fucking good.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
You know what he would ask him? He'd be like, "Are you on 0.5?"
All time, Tip.
Middle class souls, everyone. Murr, Allen, and Foxman. Hey, listen. 2 things I want to go over. Murr, I know you said you had something that was crossed your mind.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
totally lame.
These two things happened today. So first of all, I'll start with you, Murr. I actually had to mail something. Okay, I actually had to put it in one of those street side,
the blue
anchored
box?
to the concrete blue box mailbox. It's a buddy of mine who left a piece of not expensive but sentimental value jewelry at a vacation thing I was at. So I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll mail it out to you. And it was while I was walking the dog. So I opened the door and I realized in the same hand I had mail and dog shit in a bag. And a younger me, a much less mature, much younger than a 40-year-old Wes Fox may have dropped that poop in there, male or not. But obviously, I thought of you, and I thought of a lot of other male men and male women, and male people. But I can't say male people. I don't know.
Male persons.
Letter carrier, I believe.
There you go.
Letter carrier. There you go. You're right. We are PC here.
What's the actual job title?
I don't even fucking know. I mean, we just still go by letter carrier. I guess we go by letter carrier now.
Mail carriers.
Well, see, honestly, I don't even know because now we deliver more packages than we do letters. So it's
mail packages.
Package carrier. Mail packages.
Delivery men.
Gotcha. So, my question, first of all, you don't deal with these blue pins, do you?
Not anymore. I did. We do. Yeah. How do you fucking think the mail gets out of them? And it's the most rudimentary thing.
I just thought you bypassed that. I thought they streamlined you to middle management.
No. I mean, I don't deal with it anymore. But yes. I mean, it's something. It's a port. Some people do. It just depends on the route and where you are. But yes, it's the most rudimentary thing. You might think that there's more inside there than meets the eye. Oh, but there's not. It's just a rusty old metal fucking box. And we actually shove a plastic tub inside there to catch the stuff. And most of the time, it doesn't even fall in that. So you got to just pull the thing open. You got to just use your hands and get it all out of there. A lot of cigarette butts. Because I think people think it's going to catch.
Bags of poop? Did you get that?
Not a lot of bags of poop. And the fact that you said you were going to dump some poop in there, I'm like, wow, I'm pretty amazed I've never encountered poop in there. There's not a lot. I don't want to give away too many things that you could potentially do with one of those. But yeah, I mean, if you can dream it, you can see it.
Gotcha. That would be a federal crime, right?
Yeah.
You got caught
it would.
defacing something or shoving poop down there.
Yeah. And by the way, just another little fun fact for you, because a lot of people are like, oh, you shoved my package in the mailbox, you didn't put it on the porch. Well, fun fact here, if somebody steals something out of your mailbox, it's a federal crime. If they steal it off your porch, it's a fucking local municipality bullshit you got to deal with. Then it's just regular theft if it's off your porch. It's a fucking federal bang you in the ass crime if you take it out of the mailbox. So you're lucky that we put it in the mailbox.
Yeah, off your porch, it's a slap on the wrist. Out of your mailbox, it's Uncle Sam pulling your pants and his pants down and showing you what Uncle Sam has to deliver. And let me tell you something. It's not Keith on a Friday night after a few beers. I don't know. I just You on point, Keith? Sometimes. I just assumed Keith was just some withering fucking idiot who happened to get laid every now and then and has a small penis. That's all. Okay, so yeah, that's all. I thought about dropping a bag of poop down there, and I thought of you, and I said, you know what? I better just take this to where it goes. A bin that's about 100 yards away, where it belongs, where other dog shit goes. So here's my next question for you all. I cooked a great meal tonight. God, did some grilled ribeyes, did some smashed potatoes. That's where you boil them, then you smash them down flat, and then you bake them a little bit.
Throw 'em in the
some
oven.
butter and salt and pepper. Yeah, in the oven to crisp them up, and then did some steamed vegetables. Only bad thing is the grill. The bottom of the grill gave way. So I need a new grill. Long story short.
Oh, it's a gas though, because otherwise
Yeah.
it's a okay. All right.
Yeah, and I had only had the ribeyes on there for about 3 or 4 minutes, so I rolled the dice having an open flame next to a propane tank and a hose. I figured it was okay. The fallen part was covering most of the propane tank. But anyway, brought them in, threw them in a cast iron, threw them in the oven for a little bit, and put some blue cheese crumble on top of them. I said during dinner, I said, God, this is hillbilly good. And Sarah tongue lashed and said, it's not hillbilly good. It's classy. Blue cheese crumble on top of a steak is classy. I don't know why the fuck you keep saying that. And I was
No,
like,
the fuck it's not.
Okay, all right. I feel better now.
Yeah.
I just think it's
fucking
unnecessary.
Yeah. Well, one, it's fucking gross, first of all. And two,
I think-
fucking blue cheese. How is mold pebbles fucking classy? I take umbrage. Go get Sarah's ass on here.
Hold on, wait. I can explain. I can explain how it's classy. It's classy because no hillbilly in his right mind would actually go rummaging through a supermarket
that's
for blue
fair.
cheese crumbles. So
Yeah.
it's classy because rich folks who can afford to put dumb shit on their steaks will go out and buy it and say it's good because most people don't do it. So that's what
guess.
quote unquote makes it. That's what makes it bougie. It's like, well, because most people don't do this, so it has to be good, right? Like squeezing a billion fish eggs out of a fucking sturgeon and saying like, it's delightful. No, it's fishy and raw and disgusting, and it's
salty.
caviar and expensive for no reason. That's why.
I thought so. Okay, hold on. So bear with me now. There's an economic divide that I think we're both jumping over on, like both parts of this weird Venn diagram here.
Okay.
From my take on this was that yes, while there may be occasionally a steakhouse that does it just for just for showing off, like, oh, we have this beautiful ribeye with a little bit of blue cheese crumble that it's finished off in the broiler. I, on the other hand, have been to a few places where like this French fries with cheese and blue cheese crumble and things like that on top of it and bacon bits. I've always associated blue cheese crumble with redneck. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
not redneck, but like I don't associate it with fucking class. Like I put wings in it. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't. At no point in time have I gone to a fucking very expensive meal and been like, you know what I'm gonna do? Put blue cheese in this dish. Like I don't know.
Blue
It's
cheese
just,
crumble.
yeah, but either way, fucking same shit. Like the crumbles are in the fucking cheese liquid. I get it. I get what you're saying. I'm just shortening my shit. But like. Again, even if you go to a fucking restaurant that has this option, it's the cheapest of the options. Get your blue cheese crumble, poor. I'm gonna get fucking crab on mine. Like, no, fuck no, no. I hope she listens to this. I know she doesn't, but I hope she listens to this shit. Stupid.
Okay. Let me clarify before you dive in. Let me clarify. These were not expensive ribeyes. These were. I put them in. I got them to room temp. Pat dried them. Put some Montreal steak on them, grilled them for 10 minutes, and then put blue cheese crumble and threw them in the broiler on high for 2 or 3 minutes to let it.
Okay, that's fine. I just look. Bottom line is the blue cheese crumble. No matter where you go, steakhouse, whatever, they're going to. It's quote unquote an upsell to get your blue cheese on there. So I'm not saying it is classy. It's fake classy, but no self-respecting hillbilly is going to get blue cheese on their steak.
Yeah.
So it's not hillbilly, but it's fake bougie. So it's technically a quote-unquote classy option for a steak, but it's an unnecessary option, in my opinion. And by the way, Montreal steak seasoning is garbage. I'll get you a good fucking steak seasoning.
Yeah,
I literally, it's
It's actually it's Aldi brand steak seasoning. which is like kind of like
Like a knockoff
listen.
Montreal steak. You didn't even get the real stuff.
It happened to be next to the everything bagel seasoning.
Oh well,
I was like, ooh. And
I
was
would
kinda
rather
high,
have
wasn't I?
everything bagel seasoning than Montreal steak seasoning on my steak.
Let me be clear. I got steak seasoning, everything bagel seasoning with Asiago cheese, and everything bagel seasoning with jalapeno. It was like I did a supermarket sweet style, like
Very
into
nice.
the basket.
I would have taken any of the other options besides the garbage you sprinkled on your steak. I mean, that just sounds like the worst steak possible. I'm not saying you didn't try hard and you didn't do a good job cooking them. I'm just saying your flavor choices were just subpar.
To each their own, but that sounds like you've ruined a piece of meat.
Yeah, you might as well have done it well done.
Yeah, but fucking just slathered in A1.
Well, let me backtrack a minute. Murr, you said, and I'm not going to take the bait on this. Fuck you guys. That you said no self-respecting redneck would. So, what would a self-respecting redneck do? Ketchup,
Well done with A1.
Polynesian sauce.
No, because they're too racist for Polynesia. They don't even know where that is, and they don't want to have any part of it.
That's true.
Yeah, it's over by the Caribbean.
No, I think honestly, I think a redneck steak is probably the best steak you've ever fucking had. I think a redneck steak is probably about 1.5 inches thick, borderline roast. It's a borderline roast cut. It's done for 5.5 hours on a fucking smoker while you're getting drunk on bourbon. It's probably slathered in like homemade spices that they grew in a garden that they.
I think it's a dry.
Yeah,
rub.
they dry rubbed it.
Lots of salt, lots of garlic, lots of pepper.
Yeah, I think he's spot on, except it was cooked on an engine block and not on an actual piece of grilling equipment.
That's fine.
I was gonna say you could do the direct and then indirect. So you sear it and then you do the indirect heat.
That's how I sear and then oven finish, but
yeah.
See, I do all cast iron. I mean, but if I am gonna if I want that smokiness, then I will. So I'll sear it. I'll throw it on the grill for like 15 minutes. Finish it in the oven with and then I'll put it back on for a double ending sear.
That's a lot of handling.
It is a lot of handling, but with the cast iron, you can go from point A to point B, from point B to point A.
I do mine in cast iron, but I just throw it in the oven. You know.
Yeah.
What you can do is this is a genius thing. You get some like room temp butter and do thyme and garlic.
Yeah.
And then get a whip and then put it in a a rolled up style in plastic wrap and put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
And you can cut pucks out of it.
So I will say that time is overrated.
Time is overrated.
It's 100% overrated. I think it's just more of a garnish. It just needs. Some people just want that green in there because to me it just tastes like, I don't know, like dirt. I don't know. I don't like thyme. Hate it. Adds nothing
it's
to
not great. It's not
flavor
great.
palette.
You on point, time? Never tip. All right, that's all I had. Murr, what'd you have?
Oh God, what are we doing? Is this just like smorgasbord
it's
open?
fucking freeform. It's freeform. Like,
This is, man. But look, we got a fucking guy
Like
who turned himself into a
interpretive
collie. We
except
got a guy who turned himself into a fucking collie.
Okay, the only thing I really wanted to say, I wasn't sure how deep we could go on this, but is the greeting card industry going to price itself out of existence? Marie's birthday's coming up.
Does it still exist?
It does, and I think the thing is I think they're trying to make up for the lack of greeting card purchases by raising the price on current greeting cards, yet they don't have the writing staff to actually make a greeting card worth the amount of money you're paying for it. $5.95 for a fucking piece of cardboard that's not worth the fucking, like, words that are written on it?
Listen,
like, kiss my ass.
I am a staunch anti-greeting card fucking advocate. Okay, I've always been against it. Don't fucking give me a card. I'm gonna throw it. I will throw it on the ground in front of you after I take the money out of it. Like, it was a waste of money. You shouldn't have fucking done that. You should have gave me the fucking $5. You know, I didn't even know it was still a thing. Where would you even go? Can you still go to like Giant and get a fucking greeting card?
Yeah,
you
can go to your
child.
Okay.
Any pharmacy?
Grocer. Yeah, pharmacy, grocer. You can go to Walmart. There's still a Hallmark in existence near where I am.
I was gonna say there used to be a Hallmark over by my house, but like Hallmark cards are like the creme de la creme. You're paying like $8, $10 for that. God forbid you put sound in the motherfucker. That's at least a $20 card at this point.
Like a 3D cardboard pop up.
That's $1 million. You gotta take a loan out for that kind of shit.
I'll say this: like the pop up card or the musical card. Like to me, that's like one, they're lame, and
Yeah.
they're not worth it. But the price on them seems relevant because there's quote unquote technology involved in using it. But the other cards, the writing shit, they're not clever. Most of them are like, you know what time it is? Me neither. Time for more wine. Ha 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 ha.
That's exactly right.
Happy birthday. What time is it? Wine o'clock. The only whining that happens on your birthday comes in a long stem glass. Ha 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 ha. Like that's it. That's all the jokes.
I definitely got one once that had like the sound, and it was like the Nokia fucking ringtone of tequila. So it's just like boop 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 boop. Boop. I'm like, God damn it! I hate this. Who brought me this? I hate it.
Probably some white friend, some white Carson Daly
definitely,
friend.
absolutely. They were like, "No, you love tequila, man."
But I feel like the sentiment that you're proposing here, Alan, is fuck the greeting card. It's a stereotypical male sentiment. We don't care. We don't care about the card. All that sentimentality bullshit. We put it to the side. Get me a gift that you thought about, and we're good. But from the women's side, if you don't get the card, it doesn't complete the accoutrement. It doesn't complete the outfit. It doesn't complete everything that you're supposed to get.
I don't know. I'll tell you, my bottom bitch is not very greeting card fucking savvy either. So well, what
you
she
mean your
does,
wife?
she buys, yes, that's just my bottom bitch. So she fucking buys blanks, and then we just say thank you, Alan and Kelly, happy birthday, suck a dick, Alan and Kelly, and like that's it. And that we don't. That's not. You get nothing special. I want you to throw it away. Throw it away in front of me.
Yeah. Listen, first of all, you said you would be last week. You said you would be my arch mime when I die.
Yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
My birthday is coming up in about 7 weeks. I want happy birthday, suck a dick, Alan and Kelly.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Please.
I don't know your street address again, but yeah, send it to me.
I'll get it to you. Don't worry about that.
I'm gonna give a job to a letter carrier. And he's gonna send it. I'm gonna put a stamp on it.
65 cents.
Jesus Christ. That's fucking ridiculous. America. Greatest country in the world. 65 cents for a stamp. God, get the fuck out of here.
So I think, pounds, ounces. I do think that there is we can agree that there's a definitive line between thank you cards and, cards of any varieties, anniversaries, birthdays, graduations, christenings, bar mitzvahs.
All some of this sound like
sympathy cards. Hold on, we can say sympathy.
There you go.
Sorry for your loss. That's not what we're talking about.
But I do feel like, okay, let's say I wanted to write like a card and I wanted it to be kind of like ha 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 witty. But isn't it kind of weird if I wrote like a joke that I came up with while I was sitting on the toilet and like try to pass it off like hey, there's no time to whine unless it's in a stemmed glass. Ha ha. And I wrote that. Like, that's lame. But if I give it to you in a fucking, like, Hallmark fucking card that has, like, a font, all of a sudden it doesn't matter how lame it is.
Yeah.
P.S. I came up with this punchline while water was getting shot in my ass. My point is that, okay, there was years ago, we were talking, I came up with some lame ass excuse as to why the toilet seat being up and down was like, like, men have to pick the toilet seat up. Gravity works on your side as women, so we don't have to put the toilet seat down. You can just flick it and it'll go down. And she said, it's a fucking man's world. You guys own everything. Give us that. And this is where I'm like coming full circle, because you guys said you don't care about cards. You don't care about birthday cards, anniversary, Christmas. I don't even really give a shit about the whole wedding.
Oh, no.
Announcements. Just tell me where to be. Just say, and then give I don't, if you want me to fill something out with a yes, no, I'll have ribeye with blue cheese crumble. I'll have salmon, whatever. Fine, I'll do that. But what we're talking about now is like, if it was truly a man's decision, these things wouldn't exist. I don't care. I don't say happy birthday to me. You messaging me via social media, a text, a call, or in my face, happy birthday. You're right. I don't want fucking Pee Wee Herman like tequila.
I don't know.
No.
I kind of want that card if that was a card that existed. Like if he was doing like the thing, like it was just a cardboard cut out of Pee Wee.
That's different. That's worth it.
But if you're not going to get me a present and you do want to get me something, I guess a card does fucking make a little bit of sense.
No, like so weddings, perfect example. Like $100 bill. Congrats on your wedding.
And
Happy,
what, you
happy nuptials.
writing
Yeah.
right on the money?
No, on the we blank cards. We probably give Christmas ones to motherfuckers. You don't even notice there's $100 in it. Like, and it doesn't say anything sentimental. You know, let's get ready for nuptials. Alan and Kelly. Hope you bought dance floor insurance. Alan and Kelly. Like, that's it. Just fucking, that's nothing fucking, quick and to the point. Done. Here's your $100. Beat it.
God damn, you should be working for this fucking card company. Hope you bought dance floor insurance. You know, like
Look
that's
at my Instagram. It says like accredited wedding dance floor slayer or some bullshit. And that's like the fourth iteration of it.
Hope you put the tile dance floor over the carpet. Hope you actually shelled out and spent your money wisely.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
You should put that over there because if not, you're gonna have some burnt up carpet after I'm done fucking cutting the rug. So you're gonna have to pay for that shit.
Insurance ain't gonna cover the fucking burn marks.
No, sir.
I'm ready to fucking. And if tequila comes on, whoo wee.
Fucking put PYT on and watch what happens.
Well, Murr, I hope that answers your question.
nope.
Okay, well, you're gonna go to Hallmark tomorrow. You got something coming up? You got something brewing?
I had to buy birthday cards for Maria, and then and anytime I see like a card that's like, that's kind of clever, I'll go ahead and buy it and I'll file it away. So like when I forget somebody's birthday, it's like, oh shit, so and so's birthday's coming up. I got a card. Like I just always have one in the house just in case. And then it cost me like $15 for like 2 cards. I'm
Crazy.
like, what the fuck is this? They're not that
Yeah.
clever.
Pay like $3 for 100 blank Thomas Kincaids. And they
But see,
Yeah, and give those to William. Give him a blank fucking surface and be like, hey, look, and then lie to him about the person and the anniversary or what's coming up,
Yeah.
and then just sign your name on the bottom. That's
Well,
clever.
that's a good way out. Is like if you don't, okay, for when you guys maybe if you ever have kids and you forget somebody's birthday or something, like, and you have a random card in the house. Let's say it's a sympathy card, like sorry about your loss, but it's their birthday. Then you have the kid sign it, and then you say, oh, we let William pick it out. This is what he grabbed. And then you just laugh it off like it was some fucking stupid, like, child who didn't know how to read.
That's fair.
Blame it
But
on
at
the
the
dumb
end
kid.
of the night, like, that couple's going home and be like, can you believe the fucking idiots? They didn't even look at the card. You
took
can't
our
talk
kid's word
about
for it.
behind your back is what I'm saying.
Well, this Christmas, I let William go to the dollar store, and I was like, hey, buddy, here's your list of people we're buying for. And I let him just pick shit out from the dollar store to give his Christmas gifts. It's perfect. Because they can't tell the kid this gift sucks, and they have to pretend that they like it. You just got to use your kid for all things. I'm going to be running out of time here soon, though. He's going to be 9, and it's not going to go over as well.
So what'd you get, like a dollar store? You say like a Dollar General, something like that. So
Yeah.
So someone got a plunger, someone got like a couple Brillo pads, someone got like a fit.
Toilet brush.
Yeah, someone got a really cheap exercise band. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of maybe like
a boxed yoga ball that you got to blow up.
My sister-in-law got
hangers. Got some hangers.
My sister-in-law got some good 1990s scrunchies for her hair.
They're back though. They're back, bro.
My brother got some work/fishing/gardening gloves. Just the list.
Those are not the
goes on.
same.
Does your brother garden at all?
No, but
Or fish?
No, not really.
Or work?
Yeah, a little bit. but you had the trifecta. You can wear them for whatever.
Yeah. Does
He
he
could- he
wear
could- he could-
gloves to work? I'm just trying to think of the logic here.
He could
No,
Oh,
be an
he could
8-year-old and just know that he needed to buy a gift.
That's
He
fair.
could imitate the Undertaker. Just be like,
That's right.
I just thought
Whenever he
like
wanted
maybe
it.
he saw him gardening or something. You know what I mean? He was like, Unc needs some gloves.
yeah, Uncle
And
Dewey
fucking-
needs
nope,
gloves.
He was just like gloves. I like it. I'm here for it.
Everything glove, man. Where you got to do some food prep. You throw on your universal glove. One size fits no one.
Let's see here. Someone got some 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 sort of body wash of some sort,
Some candy that expires tomorrow.
Yeah, like the Rolos of some sort. That's beautiful. Good idea. Good idea, man. Good idea. All right, we're a little over a half hour in. Before we get to fun fact Friday, okay? So a Japanese native guy spent 14 grand on a collie suit. Have you guys seen it? What do you guys think? I'm going to share this with you.
Oh, I've
Yeah,
seen
I
it.
saw it.
Apparently, Sarah said, "Oh, it's been all over the news." Guy's name goes by Toko.
Is he Asian?
Yes.
Is this Japan? This is
Yes.
not unusual to me.
This is, I mean, I have to say, when I saw the story come across the wire there, if you will, I was like, what the fuck is this? Now, I mean,
So it looked like the dog had a nose implant, transplant.
Yeah, it looks
Dude.
like I can see that seam there. Yeah,
bottom line is,
very natural.
this is a passable, like, I mean,
Dog.
that one's a little off, a little
No,
bit.
it's-
Just,
I would be like, why is its legs so long? Its front
Yeah.
legs look very long.
because there's a human in there.
No,
There's
I
a
know
human-
that, but like I would
Massive.
pick up on that.
But,
Oh,
but,
it got bred with a micro collie, bred with a giant collie.
but look, bottom line is, it's
It made a
passable.
melancholy.
Yeah,
It looks like a dog that has a debilitating illness and is probably like 14 and needs to be taken to the vet for the special shot.
it's true.
But seeing it in the park like that I mean, it's passable. I wouldn't be walking by at a rapid rate of speed and be like, "Oh, it's a guy in a dog suit." That looks like a fucking dog suit, man. That's a
No.
$20,000 dog suit.
But I probably would be like, that's the biggest fucking collie I've ever seen. Like,
True.
it's gigantic. But look, people are weird, man. People have always
Yeah.
been weird. I think it's just not like now we've got a nice little culture war going on in our country where we're like weird fucking weirdos. Like, so I think it's just highlighting weird. But that guy didn't just make a $20,000. That's years in the making. That guy's been thinking and doing this shit for decades.
Yeah, this actually reminds me. There was an instance where I was a kid, and I don't remember. It was the dead of summer. I mean, I'm talking like 100 degrees something or other. Me and my brother were. I don't remember what we were planning on doing, but whatever we were planning on doing and what we were like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's spend the next hour doing that. I was like, you know what would make this better and make this a more enjoyable experience? I should go put on my zip up snowsuit. Let me go dig this out from the winter clothes. And I put it on and I got up the stairs and my brother was like, what the fuck are you doing? That's fucking weird. Take that shit off. Like, we don't need to do that. I was like, damn, that's weird. You know, every now and then you just need that policing. You need that vetting. You need that person to be like, that's weird. And no one's told this guy like, hey man, you spent 14 grand on a fucking dog suit. What are you gonna do now? I mean, is he gonna live in it? Is he just gonna walk the parks?
That's
Is
what he
just
wants to
gonna
do. He wants to live as a dog. And the problem is, and this is where it gets
So he's good.
touchy.
Is he gonna eat dog food?
I hope so. I hope everybody in the park that sees him every day fucking shoves a dog biscuit in his fucking $20,000 mouth. I hope that's what they fucking do. And I hope he has to fucking chomp it down. Because if you want me to recognize you as this thing, you better fucking play all the parts. I'm going to go get some Alpo. I'm going to get the wet food, man. I'm going to get the shit that just smells like a fucking salmon's asshole. And I'm going to be like, ooh, eat up, Pookie Dookie.
Ooh, Toko. Hey,
But
Toko.
does
Yum, 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 yum.
but does its mouth work? Or like
Yes.
that seam looks like it's pretty closed up.
It works. The tongue flops out. I don't know if he's got something going on where if he just opens his chin, like it all happens.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
man, I'm shoving shit in there. I'm shoving raw 2-day-old fish in there and say, have fun with your fucking new life as a 4-legged motherfucker. The problem is, Wes, is that somehow we're not allowed to recognize things as weird. It's fine. If you want to be weird, be weird. But don't be offended if I call you weird. Now calling somebody weird's a fucking hate crime. That's the problem with all this. And when you're not allowed to put people in place because you're too afraid of your speech, then this is what you get from it. All the shit that's going on in the world right now, I got no problem with anybody wanting to be happy and have a loving, fun-filled, adventurous life. But I can still call you fucking weird, and it can still be true. Two things can be true at once. You can be happy, and you can be fucking weird.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
But
I'm
this guy
on
needs to
board.
be shamed.
Maybe
We
like
need
the
to
only
shame.
the only thing I would disagree with is like probably shouldn't have called people weird, like just as a generalization, because fucking you probably shove some stuff up your butt when you jerk off or something. Yeah, I don't know. You got weird tendencies. Wes got weird tendencies. I got weird tendencies. Everybody's a little weird. We're fucking weird creatures. Like
Listen, I played Dungeons.
Maybe we shouldn't fucking be just bullying motherfuckers, but sometimes you got to. And this is maybe one of those occasions where bullying might have.
Just between me and you before we get back to the show. Like all the trans bullshit. Like, it's weird. You're weird. You're a weirdo. I'm not going to fight you over it. I'm not going to like shove your face in a pile of dog shit because of it.
That's less weird to me than like this shit. You know what I mean? Because like there have been trannies back in fucking ancient Roman time. Like they have existed.
Sure.
People, they have just like, and even then they were accepted in society. Fucking Julius Caesar, butt fucking trannies. Like, you know what I mean? It was socially acceptable. They were fucking deviants back then, but it was totally fine. And then like the Christo-European fucking like era took over, and then it became this like very big taboo. And now I think we're at a point where like it's just these people have always existed. Here we are.
Listen, I played Dungeons and Dragons in my teen years, and I got fucking called weird, and not just like a little weird, not just like, hey, Wes likes the Andy Dick show, but Wes is fucking weird. I didn't spend
weird. Yeah, that's weird. I'd have bullied your ass.
I didn't spend 14 grand on a fucking dog suit and be like, you know what, I want to parade around the park. And by the way, Murr, this idea of feeding him is fucking ingenious. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it has to have been done at this point, I would think.
I mean, look, if you want to be a thing and you want to be accepted and you don't want to be like shamed for it, then you got to fucking take everything that comes with it. And I think has.
Go ahead. No, sir. Do you think they take him to the vet?
I hope so. I hope when he gets to be like 70 and he's
thermometer.
Because he's a dog. I hope when he's 70 and he just gets arthritis and can't jump up on the couch anymore, they just fucking put him down. Like, hey, buddy, this is the life you chose, and this is the death I'm giving you.
They got to give him all. He's got to give all of it.
Can't walk upstairs no more.
He's got to get all of his shots, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Rabies, worms, heartworms. What else is there?
Look, I mean, I guess this comes back down. I don't know. I don't want it to get like turned into a fucking serious subject, but like it just goes to kind of show you like, some delusions you shouldn't fucking like champion. Like the lady who's walking him in the park. Like to me, she's complicit in this guy's like mental demise. There's something wrong here. I'm sorry. There's something wrong with this individual. He should seek psychiatric counseling. But no, but look, bottom line, it's his money. If he wants to spend it, it's a very strange duality that goes on in my mind. It's just, don't ask me to call you Taco or whatever he's calling himself and really pretend you're a dog. Because if you want that, then I'm gonna fucking pet you in weird spots.
But he probably likes that. I think like the feeding thing might be the one thing that gets it. And like, I think where we agree is that like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I do get to call you weird though. And like, at this point, I think the threshold of weird is obviously raised a little bit. This is still fucking weird. This was weird when we were kids. This is weird when we were in high school. This is weird fucking now. Like, it's just fucking weird.
I think the most fun thing to do besides feed him, well, maybe in conjunction with feeding him, is like really start giving him the rub down. You know how like you scrub a dog and then you say fucking evil shit to them because they don't understand you. Like, ooh, Tuco, you dumb motherfucker. You belong in a psychiatric hospital. You are so fucking weird. You're the weirdest fucking dog. You're the weirdest fucking dog. Yeah. I'm going to put you down one day. Yes, I am. I'm going to give you some sodium pentothal right in the butt cheek. That's what I'm going to do.
You're going to get neutered next week. Ooh, can't wait.
Might be right.
And you're right that she's complicit. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to be his friend, right? Yes. I'm assuming they are pals, amigos, and he says, I have this idea. I want you to walk me. A good friend says, no. Yes. I'm not doing that. If you want to find someone to walk you, it's not going to be me. As your friend,
it's probably his wife or some crazy shit.
God, even worse. A wife would run. You know?
Right.
Oh no, I
Or
think
I
if
guess
it's your
like
wife, it's slightly less weird. Like if you just have to find like casual dog walkers, like to walk you in dog form, that feels weirder to me than like I got married and then admitted to my wife that I wanted to be a dog now, and she was like, you know what, I love you, I will walk you like a dog. Like that feels less weird to me than just being like, hey, Wes, I need to go for a walk, bud. You mind stop swinging by? I got my leash on.
you bet. I'm bringing the dog treats. I'll be right up.
You know
What
I mean?
if? But what if he's like a total cuck, and she's like, hey, you're my best friend, right? Yeah. Well, you know who really makes a good best friend? Who's that? A dog. I want you to be my dog. He's like, I'll do anything for you. I'll do anything for you.
Yo, that's entirely in the realm of possibility.
So
Like-
she could be the weirdo, and he could be just a total pussy bitch.
Yo, because look, in the deep dark recesses of the internet and Reddit especially, I've seen some motherfuckers be like, I would love to be your slave. Do you want to shove stuff inside of me? Do you want to dress me up? Go for it. For free. And so like this isn't that fucking far off. Like
Yeah. Yeah. It's just say like I'm gonna be dressed up as a dog. You always liked the doggy style. Now's our chance to live it out.
Yeah.
Now's our chance to do it. This is ridiculous. And you're right. She's completely. And actually, I was getting a second look at a lot of these things. These claws look fucking ridiculous. They don't even. They look like I don't know. They look like something out of Jurassic Park. You know.
Yeah, I know, but like I gotta say though, I mean, for the first of its kind, I'd say he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. Gen 1. Yeah, you're right. 2 million yen came to 14,161 Americana.
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, you could buy yourself a, I don't know, good Hyundai.
Yeah, he's a low entry model Hyundai.
I was
For
gonna say
that
an
kind of
okay
money.
Hyundai, an okay Hyundai, no
Maybe not with
Hyundai.
maybe not with the turbo, but you know.
Mine was less than 14.
Damn.
Just saying. Didn't come with a dog, collie. I tell you that. All right. I'm sick of fucking men dressing up like dogs. I want to get smarter.
Do we know a lot
I
of
want to get. There's this club I belong to. Actually,
Wait, hold on. Is he gonna be shitting in the park? I just need to know that because if he's, I don't want him using the toilet. If he needs to own this whole fucking thing. I want him squatting. I want him doing the fucking like crouching tiger, hidden poop, like in the park. I want him doing yoga moves. I want to see that arched back. I want to see giant fucking turds coming out the back of this fucking 200-pound collie.
looking
He's
at
got to
his,
stare directly at you.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, help me. I'm in a vulnerable position. You need
Watch
to
watch
me.
my back. I'm pooping.
And dismiss the fact that it's man-sized poop coming out of this dog costume. This is what a collie poops. Ooh, I had some chili peppers last night. These goddamn park goers have been feeding me too much.
Oh God. Well, are we ready for some knowledge?
Knowledge me up, bro.
Let's do it.
Hopefully it's a dog question.
I hope so.
Do I have any dog? Let me see. Do I have any
Looking
dog?
through.
Do I have any dog? Do I have any dog? I don't have any dog, but I do have 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Let's get to your mental floss amazing facts. Brought to you, of course, by our great friends over at the Shin Splints Recovery Group and our not-so-new friends over at the Flat Earth Science Advocates for Truth, a very slow-growing Facebook group, so I do recommend that you go over. You like the page, you talk about the page, maybe bring up some alien stuff, okay? How did the aliens penetrate the disk? I don't know. It would be amazing to see that brought up at a congressional committee. Now, Wes, I know you don't like the alien UFO stories that I send you all the goddamn time. However, I did see that there apparently is footage of an alien interrogation that is going to be submitted to a congressional committee.
So they tied this alien down. They spoke to it in English, and he could understand it.
Incorrect. They didn't tie him down. Apparently, he had some sort of respiratory problem, and the respiratory and heart sac is one unit, and they were actually giving him medical care, and they didn't talk. They brought empaths in to actually communicate with him telepathically.
Damn, you totally lost him. I thought you had him there for a second, then you totally lost him.
Unfortunately, all the words I said are truthful statements.
Oh, yeah.
According to, those with knowledge of the source subject, the whistleblowers that'll be testifying on Congress. So anyway, I say you go discuss these topics on Flat Earth Science, Advocates for Truth. But if the alien thing is real, man, we took it really well. They waited 70 years to fucking break it to us, and nobody gives a shit.
All right, look, if this turns out to be true, I'll dress up as a dog of anything that you all want in a much less than $14,000 suit in the park of your choosing.
Okay.
Central Park, Druid Hill Park. Alan, do you know a few more that are famous? Whatever.
Lincoln Park.
Patterson.
Park, right here in our hometown of Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, well, before we get to Fun Fact Friday, serious question, though. Considering all of this stuff, I'm not saying it's a 50-50 coin flip, whether it's real or not real, but with all the stuff we've been inundated with UFO stuff, what if, tomorrow, they were like, yeah, it's all true. Are you...
Then I'm wrong. I'm wrong. That's fine.
But is that your only reaction, though? Fuck, I'm wrong.
No, I'm amazed. I want to know more then.
Okay, but how amazed? I guess my point is if this is a secret that's been kept from us for all this time because, for our own safety, your minds will melt because you won't be able to understand reality anymore. Isn't that gone? Hadn't that chicken flown the coop?
I suppose, but I mean, how are the minds of congressmen more fucking ready for some information that we can't handle?
I don't disagree with you. But I guess what I'm saying is they've kept this secret because of what? Anybody have an answer for that? Why would they keep it?
The Americans are way too fucking dumb to have handled that at any other
then
time.
what about the Europeans, the Australians, the Asians?
I'm sure that they're fine with it. We are a dumb population if we haven't noticed over the last
then what about the Canadians?
6 to 8 years?
They don't count.
Fucking count.
Yeah, thank you.
Come on, buddy.
Look, man. Whatever we do, they're in line behind us. Okay,
they're just there, fucking putting poutine on fries and shit.
Have fun, Canada.
I'll ship them
Goddamn.
some blue cheese crumble. Really season things up a bit.
Seriously,
At least
Canadians.
their curds are fucking delicious.
You know why Canadians are so happy? Because they don't have to worry about anything. America will handle it. We'll be fine. We're up here. It's cold. Nobody wants to come here anyway. There's very limited immigration going on north of the border. What do you want us to do, America? Oh, shut up and eat maple syrup? You got it.
So UFOs don't travel into Canada.
I'm not saying it doesn't, but no. It's not that they don't travel into Canada. It's just that, like The Rock said, it doesn't matter if they travel into Canada. Because fuck you. We'll handle it. NORAD, North America. That means us, not you, Canada. Okay. You are us. I'm just saying, I feel like tomorrow, if this all comes to fruition and they said, yep, the aliens are real and we have their technology, I just feel like we would turn the channel. And we would go to,
according to you, we were helping an alien who had respiratory failure.
Yeah.
Who had popcorn lung or something.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm actually proud of the United States government. For once this decade, I'm proud of my governing body because they
Wouldn't
took
that
care.
be crazy? They're what's his diagnosis? And he takes the stethoscope out. He's like, best way I can describe it is popcorn lung. But since it's an alien, it's more nuclear than that. It's like this guy's been breathing the back end of a nuclear bomb for 14 years.
Well, one thing they did say is that he didn't have not have a dynamic genome where we have chromosomes from two separate parties. This was just one genetic strand. So it means that they were
all hermaphroditic.
They did not use a two-party reproductive process. So almost like the Matrix, they just made him in a petri dish, and there he was.
Damn.
With his lung heart sac just foaming at the mouth, speaking out
dressed
of the brain.
Dressed up in a collie suit.
That's right. Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Did you know personalized license plates are a bane of each state's motor vehicle division, as they cannot authorize plates that could be considered offensive or be indecent in any language. If you live in Arizona, forget about getting ass clown, ASSCLWN, big fart, or got to pee. In Colorado, Ben Dover or Snowho are no-nos, and you can't be badass, ballin', boobies, or boob 1ES in New Jersey.
And you can't be tax hell in Maryland. Everett, a friend of my dad, tried to get that, and they said,
Really?
no. He thought that was great.
What could he do? Well, could you do tax 1-1? I guess I'm asking. I'm just.
I don't know. I don't know how in depth he got with the MVA. So, anyway, now that you mention it, I'm sure that I've seen some really ridiculous. They're all ridiculous, aren't they? Have you ever seen one that you were like, yeah, that's God, look at that. That is poetry. It's like that person got struck with a inspiration arrow written by Shakespeare. He's like, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to go down to that MVA. I'm going to be like, you know what? I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. I'm shooting blanks.
The most clever personalized license plate I ever remember seeing. It was in like the mid '90s, and this person had other identifiers on their car, but the license plate was IM1 RU12, and they were obviously a raging lesbian. And it was like, oh, very clever.
That's pretty good.
I can deal with that. Okay.
Yeah, that was clever. That was clever.
Subaru, wasn't it?
There's a very fine line between stupid and clever.
Oh, have you watched what is it? Oh, have you the Arnold Schwarzenegger television series thing on Netflix where he plays like an aging CIA agent?
Oh, I think I saw a clip of him like calling some dude fat, like on TikTok.
Well, one of the chicks on the show, her name is, they call her Rue, and finally they're like, and Ruth, what do you think? And she's like, oh, Rue, that's short for Ruth. I thought it was because you drive a Subaru. She says, no, I drive a Subaru because I'm gay. You don't even know my real fucking name.
Look,
my girlfriend drives a Subaru. How dare she?
Some stereotypes are true.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you know, between the 16th and early 20th centuries, artists used ground-up mummies as paint pigment? It was also thought to be a potent medicine.
That doesn't sound.
I mean, the paint thing makes sense to me, but the potent medicine doesn't fucking ring any bells.
Dude, the wild times back then.
Yeah, and that's supply and demand. How much ground up mummy was there accessible?
Well, I think you mummified most of your dead back then.
Most? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
it wasn't like reserved for like pyramid dwellers.
I do know that I do know that like
Okay.
some of the tombs had like a couple hundred servants mummified, to serve them in the afterworld and all that shit.
That's
so
another
maybe
part of it too. Like when your pharaoh dies, like everybody dies. They killing your kids, they're killing your wife, they're killing your servants, your fucking cousins and shit. You got to go with them to the afterlife, but he's dead.
And plus, there was probably just some paint maker guy out there who was like, I know how we can make a pretty penny on some of these purple pigments. Give me some of them mummies. Ground them up.
Yeah.
We'll charge an extra $1,000 a fucking pint, and we'll sell them to idiots in New York's Greenwich Village.
And then imagine the whole fucking economic system around it. You had people that were making fake stuff, and then you had people who could differentiate between the fake and the real stuff. Like, oh, that's real. That's real ground up mummy right there. That's genuine shit. Like, nope. You got scammed, ma'am. This is bullshit.
But, okay.
This is actually legitimate shit. Oh, God.
Besides, like black, like, what pigment is a mummy making?
That's what I was wondering. Like,
ground up. I don't know.
I just feel like ground up dead body, like blackened by time. I think you feel like you only get one color out of it.
You on point, Pharaoh? All the time, Tip.
Yeah, look at that. You know what's the best part of this is uh every time I look up a fact, like not every time, but a lot of times I look up facts and like in my fact is like, man, y'all white people sometimes. So Mummy brown was a pigment of paint that became popular in Europe during the 16th century. The rich brown color was made from grinding up Egyptian mummies.
Look at
So
that.
the Egyptians weren't even grinding up mummies. Fucking Europeans were like, we need brown curtains in this fucking foyer. Let's go grind up some Egyptian mummies.
The proper pronunciation is foyer, by the way.
Yeah, that's
What are
right.
you, fucking French, weirdo?
By the way,
Both
that's a
human
little
and feline, by the way.
that's a little foreshadowing from a listener comment later on. Just so you know, hang tight.
Did you
by.
know fish can suffer from a condition similar to depression in humans?
Ooh. Did you know I can suffer depression from listening to a Fish live album for over a half
Oh
hour?
my god. Okay, can we all get this out of the way? Like, we're all like musically, we got our things. You guys are more into hip hop than I am. Oh my god, what the hell was that?
Sorry.
Is that a fish? Fish? You're listening
Yeah, it
to
was
fish?
That's a happy fish. Are jam bands like the bane of all existence? Like a band like Fish. I can't get into Fish. I can't get into the Grateful Dead. I can't get into Fish. All these fucking jam bands, like just playing the same fucking thing for 20 fucking minutes. Why?
Well, see, it's not the same fucking thing. Like,
Mm.
but like, I'm with you. I'm not a Fish guy. I'm not really a Grateful Dead guy. I will say that probably like the deepest I got was like Dave Matthews Band, but like their jams, like their concerts end in a single evening of entertainment. I don't have a weekend to fucking go down a fucking acid trip with Fish. Like I don't got time like that. And you're not allowed to put shoes on. It's a thing. So like fucking no, I fuck Fish. And you're right. And I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat from anybody that listens to this because I got a lot of fucking Fish head friends.
Yeah.
And nope, not interested.
I mean, I did let's say it was like an evening, and it was a very prominent, very forefront Grateful Dead cover band. If I were naming the band, people would be like, "Oh yeah."
Probably
I
like
saw 'em
Shades
at
of Grey or something like that.
No,
It's
there's
not.
one around
It's
here
it's like more like something something
Mummy
dead and,
Brown.
Yeah, Mummy Brown, and yeah, but it was just an evening. It was like 6 to 9 o'clock, and by the end of it, I was done. I was like, that's fine. I had a good time for most of it, but a whole festival surrounded around that stuff. Yeah, that's. Hey, listen, man. 2 weeks around, you want to go to a collie park and get fed fucking dog treats with the other collies?
You
at a
are mesmerized
$14,000
by this fucking man, aren't you?
That's fine. If you want to go to a Fish or a Grateful Dead thing, Chris, I have a cousin who traveled with the Grateful Dead in the fucking early '90s.
But see, I can get that for the culture of it. I get that, like it's the people, it's the culture, it's the event. But the music, I mean, fucking give it a rest. Like the same scales for like 20 minutes. Like just move on, play the next fucking song.
You
got
don't
3,000
understand.
of
You
them.
don't
Yeah,
get it. That's
You're
fine.
right. You're right. I don't, and I don't want to. Maybe you don't get it. Maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're the weirdo. Fucking collie loving motherfucker. Did you know?
I don't love collies. Take that back. Take it back. Son of a bitch.
Matalituplia is an old, obscure word for getting up on the wrong side of the bed. According to the Macmillan Dictionary, the word is derived from the Latin name Maltua, from Malta Mater, the Roman goddess of the dawn, and the Greek word for lipe, meaning grief or sorrow. So
Jesus Christ,
people
man.
people
That's a
being
fucking,
assholes from the get-go is not a new phenomenon.
Where does Molotov cocktail fit into that? Where do you think the root word? That's because that's what I was trying to tie it into.
Well, I guess there was probably a war. Oh, I'm just spitballing here.
That's fine. Yeah,
the
yeah.
Mal the and they're like an archipelago or something.
There's the Maldives.
The
I think.
Yeah.
Maldives. And I
Maybe
bet
Fish was playing there, and they were like, "Fuck this."
and they just started fucking chucking pure grain alcohol at each other in bottles. Dude, a Molotov cocktail, by the way. I've got some recipes for you if you'd like some.
you got the dosage, the right amount of
Oh, yeah.
fill into this. Put that in there.
Look, bottom line is gasoline, sugar, and styrofoam. Put in a fucking glass, like a Corona bottle. Dip that fucker in some diesel. Give her a light and give her a chuck. You're on your way.
We are now on a list.
Saying.
You could look this up on the internet.
We're gonna get calls from someone probably.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on. And fine.
This isn't Soviet Russia, buddy.
We're gonna get calls from a fish manager. I heard your goddamn podcast.
Yeah, that's probably more likely than
You
anything.
haters.
I think a Molotov cocktail to a fish concert. There we go. Everybody wins. Except for the people at the fish concert. Did you know? In July 2014, old love letters between President Warren G. Harding and his mistress, Carrie Fulton Phillips, were unsealed by the courts for all the world to blush over. To throw people off the trail, Harding, who passed away on this day 100 years ago, originally concocted a lurid code for his writing where he referred to his penis as Jerry, leading to wonderfully awkward lines such as, quote, "Wish I could take you to Mount Jerry. Wonderful spot."
Jesus, what a sleazeball. God damn.
Mount Jerry.
So Warren G. Harding had a mistress.
Yeah, I think they all did, man.
Yeah. Haven't you seen Mad Men? It's all about the mistresses back then.
I mean, those are fucking advertising gurus.
But have you ever seen a
in the
picture
60s.
of Warren G. Harding? Like, he doesn't seem, I don't know, he just doesn't seem like the mistress type.
Yeah. I mean, look at that guy.
Right?
And that guy just oozes
I
sexuality.
mean, he doesn't look like a guy.
And that guy's Val Venus written all over his face in the 20s.
Val Venus. Thank you for that.
Wow.
I was actually wondering a couple of weeks ago, like, of all the people from the Attitude Era, what happened to Val Venus? That was such a great, like, for the time, like, hello, ladies. And he'd come out.
in a towel.
Yeah.
The big Balboski.
God, man, what a character. One of the other great characters from the Attitude Era that, like, I can't remember. He changed his name a few times, but was it Mr. Anderson? Was that what he?
Oh, Mr. Kennedy, right?
Mr. Kennedy. He eventually turned it to Mr. Anderson after the Matrix when he switched over to some other league. I don't know if it's WCW or AEW or whatever. But man, that guy was good too, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was in the so this guy was it after he passed away, Warren G. Harding? They unveiled these things.
They just revealed him.
I'm looking at extramarital affairs.
Yeah, that was 2014. They were unsealed.
Damn, they gave him almost 100 years.
Yeah.
It's historian Justin P. Coffey in his 2014 review of Harding's biographies criticized him for obsessing over Harding's sex life. I don't have anything about Mount Jeffrey or something like that?
Jerry. It was just the name of his penis, so, like, he would be like, hey, Jerry's been asking about you. Hey,
You even do it in your old-timey news voice, too.
Jerry's
been asking.
Jerry was just wondering if you were making a visit this weekend.
That's exactly how he said it, though.
Yeah.
I got this collie suit in the corner. I was hoping I could use it today.
It's obsessed. You're gonna get a collie suit now.
Who, me? Well, if aliens are real, I'll do it. Or any other dog you want. Great Dane,
Really?
Chihuahua.
Hold
Yeah.
on, Alan.
Are we
Mark
committing
this
to that?
down.
Yeah, I was like, are we committing to that?
If
This
aliens
is
are
on the
real,
record.
if aliens are real, then we get to dress Wes up as a
Listen,
pet of our
this-
choice.
As a pet of
Can-
our
can-
choice.
Can I have a stipulation in this? This isn't
Sure.
a lifelong bet. This isn't something 40 years from now where I'm 80 and then aliens visit and be like, yep, see, you said it. I'm talking about this whole like congressional hearing thing.
Okay, so so if we have confirmation,
I'll give you 5 years. I'll give you 5.
There you go. I was gonna say 4, so you're giving me one more than I even asked for.
Perfect.
I was going to give you to the end of the decade, but I'll give you 5 just to be safe.
What years?
You know, some crazy bad.
Okay, that's a
2028.
Fuck yeah! All right, fine. All right, deal.
You'll take what you can get, right?
Yeah, deal. Look, bottom line is there's no skin off my back, so what do I give a shit?
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing that you have to do if it doesn't happen. I actually ought to throw a twist into there, a double or nothing. Maybe like 2 years from now, I'll say, hey, look, if aliens do come about in the next 2 years, you'll double down anyway. You'll be like, no, well, they just haven't come up with enough evidence to prove. But I mean, they had respiratory failure. They had one like breathing. They had one like head with his heart, with his penis in the same region.
Is Jerry in the same?
Is
region?
Jerry? It was Warren G. Harding.
That's what all penises are called now.
Jerry's.
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
It sounds like a Rick and Morty bit.
I was going to talk about the gentleman on the lawnmower before you go. We're going to save that for next week because this week we want to do what the middle class holes do best, and that's give tribute to celebrities who passed away. First of all, we missed out on Tony Bennett. We missed out on Sinead O'Connor. Do we need to talk about those two at all?
No, I don't think
Oh.
so.
Other than this Italian joint up by here has a quality dish. It's called the Rigatoni Bennett, and I find it fucking phenomenal.
What
Nice.
what do we got in there?
It's like rigatoni and like a standard meat sauce, and then it's like topped with cheese and baked. So it's pretty fucking good. Like it's not bad at all. Rigatoni.
Is it crumbled blue cheese?
It is not. I would fucking I would buy it and then throw it at the chef.
I will say, my sister, my cousin was in town from Texas, and we went to this local like brew pub kind of place. Any which way, she got like one of those like what do you call that? What's that fancy word for like cheese and crackers? Charcuterie.
Charcuterie, but charcuterie usually has meat. But that's fine. Yeah, charcuterie traditionally is a meat and pickle and cheese and cracker and a few other things. But as we've gotten more sophisticated, they haven't segregated it to like just meat. You get meat and cheese and things like that.
Okay,
But anyway,
well,
go on. Yes.
She had like there was crumbled blue cheese on there, and it was fucking like it was like green and blue, and I was just like, God, I'm gonna nibble off of that. Oh, it was the funkiest shit in the world, and but I couldn't help myself. It was just something like it was like getting hot wings are way too hot, and you're like, I can't eat any more of this. I'm gonna try another bite, and I just kept fucking like nibbling at this shit. Oh, there's something fucking addicting about it, man. I don't even know where this is going. But any which way, what was your point?
What
I just
about
wanted to talk about blue cheese.
about the something Bennett?
Oh, Tony Bennett.
Rigatoni Bennett.
Rigatoni Bennett, blue cheese on top. Yes. Anyway, Sinead O'Connor's dead. Tony Bennett died. One
Yeah.
sadder than the other. I'll let you choose. But the saddest of them all is obviously Mr. Paul Rubens.
Paul fucking Rubens, Pee Wee Herman. God, it slays me that he was just a little bit shy. Actually, I think he was 70 or something like that. Had a very private bout with cancer. Actually doesn't shock me that the guy was 70, but I don't know, man. Pee Wee was a pretty formative conjuncture of my young years. Big Top Pee Wee, the Pee Wee Herman Show. I actually saw him many years later watching Cheech and Chong's next movie, where I'm the guy from the hamburger store. And actually looking at his IMDb, he was in Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Let's see, he was in Blues Brothers. A few other things. Oh, Chris, he made a cameo in Cocaine Bear. I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
I don't.
Well, I haven't seen Cocaine Bear yet because it's not out on the streams just for freebies yet.
Oh, I think it is.
Either way, your thoughts on the passing of Paul Rubens?
Just a fucking unique, weird talent. And going back and watching some of the YouTube clips over like the last couple of days, he just kind of like stumbled onto this character, and then it started to kind of grow, and he just fucking went with it. It was fucking weird. I don't think our parents knew what was up with it. It definitely wasn't a kid-centric character. I just think he fucking got off. I think some producers who saw a money grab on the table offered him something. It's like, hey, that character you do, that's good for kids, right? And he's like, yeah.
He did not talk like that in real life.
Yes, sure it is. And then he just fucking went with it. And it became a fucking Saturday morning staple, but it was not for kids. It was an adult play show, and it had so much innuendo, and it was out of place. It was out of time. And he just fucking rolled with it. And God bless him for it. It made my generation, like, weird in a good way. Like, it's almost like you were in on the joke, but you didn't get the joke. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's novel. That doesn't come around very often. And so, I mean, I honestly feel like when he got arrested for the whack job in the theater, I feel like I feel like that was like the Tipper Gores of the world, like trying to shut him down. Like, I feel like they finally got the joke, and they were like, no, this guy can't talk to our kids anymore. We got to go into the porn theater and find someone with a dick in their hand, and like, oh wow, you mean you raided a keg party and there was a bunch of fraternity guys there? Like, ooh, like it was the most obvious. Like, you raided a skin flick and you found a guy with a dick in his hand. And it just so happened to be Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
And then he shows up at an MTV Movie Awards, and he, as Pee Wee Herman, goes, "Heard any good jokes lately?"
He does. Hilarious.
I just think, first of all, him in Blow was a great character.
Phenomenal.
Where he plays his counterpart. He's also the vampire in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm not just like going to read off all this stuff, but here's like, I watched the show when I was a kid with my parents on Saturday mornings, between like somewhere wiggled in between my jam-packed morning as a 7-year-old, between wrestling my pillows, watching wrestling my brother. I sandwiched in a half hour of Pee Wee's, the Pee Wee Herman show. And then he put out 2 movies, and it was like Big Top Pee Wee. And I remember watching that with my brother. In the very first scene, he has all these like automated things, like these things that are making breakfast for him. And he's like, oh, hey. There's like talking to his dog, and he's got an entire spread out across his dining room table. It's like waffles, pancakes, bacon, eggs, toast, fruit, OJ, coffee, everything. And he takes one bite of bacon and one sip of his orange juice. He goes, gotta go. And my older brother's like, that's all he's gonna eat. And we laughed for 20 fucking minutes. We went and watched that scene probably 15 times. And let's think of it. What I'm trying to say is, when you're 7 years old and you can remember something really, really well like that, it hit home. It hit your heart. And Christ, did Paul Rubens come up with that? Fuck, I don't know. And I don't care.
He did.
Maybe it was a writer. Maybe it was someone else. Maybe it was a producer. I don't know.
He was in charge of his own content, and I think that's what people need to realize is like, he made you. That was the joke, and thank God you got it. Like, at such a young age, it's like, I'm gonna go through this ridiculous make you wait. Like, it's done, and then just move on. Like, that was it. And apparently, according to him, like, the whole thing with Pee Wee was like, he couldn't remember. He was a stand-up. He couldn't remember his jokes. So he's like, how do I make my fucking memory funny? So he would tell jokes, like, he would do long setups and then forget the punchline. And that was the joke. And that became Pee Wee. So what you just described is Pee Wee Herman. I'm going to have this Rubes Goldberg fucking machine that makes my breakfast, and then I'm not going to eat it. But I'm going to make you watch the process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would say this conveyor belt with like perfectly cooked bacon spitting out onto his area, and then he would like feed the dog like, ha, enjoy.
By the way, Batman Returns. So he was the Penguin's dad, and Miss Yvonne was his wife.
Oh wow!
So
Gosh,
Tim Burton was in on the joke too.
God. Alan, any memories? I know you're.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember him probably as vividly as you guys, but like, I've definitely seen all the movies and shit. And like, I mean, he's. I was reading something, and he was very much like that. The whole point of that was to give weird kids an outlet and be like, "There's a weird guy," and like with the weird we were talking about earlier. Maybe it's not fucking dressing up in a $20,000 collie outfit, but he gave the weird kids and the weird fucking people around an outlet, and I think that was his biggest, point of Pee Wee. And then the second thing I saw was as I was scrolling through Instagram, and like people, I follow a lot of comedians, and people are talking about shit. I forget whose I found who wrote like a very nice. Oh, it's the guy from fucking Comedy Bang Bang. I forget his name off the top of my head. But that guy wrote a very heartfelt Instagram post about how like Pee Wee allowed him to be weird, and Comedy Bang Bang kind of built off of that weirdness. Like if you've ever watched it, it's just fucking, it's strange. I don't necessarily find it that funny, but some bits are funny. But like he took off of that, and I think the thing he said that was interesting was that he didn't know, like Paul was very private about his about the cancer and whatnot, so he didn't know about it. But they used to text and talk back and forth. And one thing he always did was he would, like, for people's birthdays, he would remember them. He would send them cards with jokes and like telling them about how proud he was of them. And in that thread, multiple comedians like Jack Black. So a couple, like I read like 5, 6, 7, 8 of them in a row, and I was like starting to get a little choked up. I'm like, God damn! Like he did it to all of these major comedians, and like Jack Black was like, dude, it lit up my whole fucking day. Like I couldn't believe that he remembered this thing that we talked about, and so he did that with a rack of comedians, and like none of them are really the same. You know what I mean? It's Jack Black and Comedy Bang Bang. Like they're not really in the same fucking stratosphere, but they're still all comedians and all got the love from that guy. And I thought that was super fucking interesting as I was just scrolling through the other day. That he touched all those comedians.
Yeah, Conan wrote something, he actually had Paul Rubens on his podcast like a year or two ago, and every year on Conan's birthday, without fail, Paul Rubens would send him some like weird 1990s GIF, like there's like a happy birthday thing, and it's just like you never forget. And he's like, well, why would I? Like, you mean something to me. Why wouldn't I? Why would I forget it? Yeah. It's just like I don't know, man. Like everybody says like, how many more of these people are like Gen Xers and whatever generation I am, and you guys, how many more? Look, bottom line is like entertainment has exploded in our lifetime, and we are going to be losing more and more of these people as time goes by. And I don't know, man. Like I don't know. We remember the weird ones, so be weird. Just don't wear a collie suit.
Just don't wear a collie suit. That's right.
Or fucking wear it, but we might call you weird.
Yeah, if you're funny and you wear it, I might like it.
You know what though? Be weird up here. Don't be weird out here. Like that's where we respect the weird. We respect the weird and the unique that comes from inside, not the fucking.
That's antithetical to this Paul Rubens discussion, because he was outwardly weird. He had talking sofas and fucking Rube Goldberg breakfast machines. He was outwardly strange.
And by the way, in this Cheech and Chong next movie, he's getting secondhand smoke from really good weed, and he eventually turns into a lizard. I encourage you to watch that.
Well, even at the end of like, what is it, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and like they make the movie, and he's like, "Hey, here goes my big part," but they don't even use his voice, and it's like, "Hold on, you have a call coming in, sir," and he keeps looking at the camera. It's hyper aware, and that's, I don't know, man. We're better for it, and a lot of entertainment that came from that thought process, we're better for it.
Mm-hmm.
So God bless you, Paul Rubens. This is the best fucking send off we've ever given.
Yeah, this is the only one we haven't absolutely botched.
Heartfelt and not going off on some sort of weird Barky Bartholomew fucking.
We didn't focus on you getting caught jerking it in a theater.
No, I think that was a
Which is still
setup.
kind of funny.
I think that was a setup. I genuinely do. I mean, I'm not saying you didn't go into a fucking porn theater, but back in the day, there wasn't a whole lot of porn available to you at home. You could, even when he got caught, there wasn't like VHS of it, and you had to go to a New York City proper porn theater, and that means undercover New York City police officers had to say, "Hey, there's Pee Wee Herman with long hair and a fucking Fu Manchu wearing a trench coat, and he's going into this theater. Let's wait until he takes his penis out and then arrest him and put his mugshot on fucking national television and cancel his fucking TV show." If that doesn't scream conspiracy to you, then I don't know how to fucking like spell conspiracy.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, we've talked about it on the show. My father, and I don't mean that in some sort of weird, unilateral term. I mean the man who procreated me went to a couple New York City fucking XXX 24-hour theaters just so he could get a good night's sleep for cheap. We've talked about
I think
this.
I've heard this. Yeah.
He would like buy a ticket because it was cheaper than a hotel and just sleep there. And he's like, ooh, he's like fucking triple X, like, oh yeah. He's like, and pass out. Now, was he jerking off? God, I don't know. I never asked, and now I'll never get that answer. Damn it! I wish I would have asked. But what's the conspiracy, Murr? That these guys were going in like, yeah, we're going to get a bunch of people pulling their pud, and they saw Paul Rubin. They're like, wait a minute. Got a celebrity.
There was a lot of controversy. You might be, I mean, you're only 3 years younger than me, but there was a lot of controversy around the Pee-wee's Playhouse because a lot, like, after it had been on for a couple of seasons, some parents were like, "What is this? Is it rotting our children's minds? This is a little too weird for Saturday morning cartoons. It's not even a cartoon." And so people started wondering, and then I think people started seeing there was some innuendo in there, and there was some fucking weird jokes, and they weren't sure if kids should be watching it. And when you're not sure of something, how do you get it canceled? You cancel the fucking host. You expose him for not being the character that he portrays. And so Paul Rubin's fucking like, well, the trap was set. He was horny. He went to a fucking XXX theater. But again, not as... It'd be different if he went in there with a fucking gray suit and a bow tie and a fucking crew cut.
I'm here for the action. Let's watch.
He went in there with a fucking trench coat and a fucking like Fu Manchu and long hair, just as a guy. No one would have said that's Pee Wee Herman. But they made sure they took him down. How many dudes did the same thing and didn't get put on national television as a shameful act?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. My wife even was like, wasn't he in a porn theater? And I was like, yeah. They got my man.
And that's how they got the show canceled, is by going after the man who played the man. And so that's the conspiracy in my mind. Is they wanted to cancel the show. They had no grounds to cancel the show. They created grounds to cancel the show. That's it. That's my conspiracy.
Fair enough.
I don't hate it.
And he was harboring aliens.
Yeah. We'll find out in a couple days. I guess I got to dress up in the favorite dog suit of you guys. All right. Before we get to listener comments, Alan, tell all the would-be Paul Rubin, Big Top Pee-wee, Pee-wee's Playhouse, and Phil Hartman fans where you can browse.
Phil Hartman fans. Well, if you're into Phil Hartman, we got the content for you. And it's over on all of your favorite social media platforms. We're at MDL Classholes on Instagram and Twitter. We're the Middle Class Holes on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube. And for your listening pleasures, please check us out on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. That's right.
That's right. We got 3 comments and a phone call from an old coworker of mine that I'll tell you about. So first of all, it comes from I'll Trip Your Kid from YouTube. Comes from Pine Tree Riot 4286. I'll Trip Your Kid basically boils down to where we're secretly judging kids who act out in public spaces. It basically boiled down to Alan saying, "I'll trip your fucking kid. I don't give a fuck." And simply the comment reads, "No mercy." I like it. I dig it. No mercy. Get them. Email coming via Keith Kern. Says, "You didn't ask for emails this week, but I'm sending it in anyway. So a week after hearing about Alan discussing how if he had money, he'd be down for hunting and eating humans, he follows up with he'd be okay murdering Murr's family. if the power is out for a few days, I'll continue to make sure I only see him in public places. Keep up the good work, gentlemen. I'll keep mentioning the pod to my friends and coworkers. Hope the takes are as hot as the weather. So,
That's safe, Keith.
Alan, he's basically saying like, you should you're not to be trusted.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
kind of like.
that's
I
reasonable.
listened back. I listened back to that, Alan. Like, yeah, you fucking you jump forward a few steps, like real
Oh
quick.
yeah, no, like the friends that I mentioned in that, like they're kind of preppy, and I would be like, I would go to my prepper type friends in that scenario. We've had this discussion, and they were like, we might not let you in because you're a problem, and I was like,
Yeah.
facts. I was like, you know what? That's reasonable because I will end up being the leader of this cult, and we will fucking murder people.
Yeah, you see that's why like the game of Survivor, I really wish I could get on that show. Like Alan, you would fail that show. You
Yeah.
kind of you showed your cards a little too hefty.
Yeah.
In that, like I was like, damn. I actually when I went back through the show to look for clips, I was like, I'm not offended, but like I was like, if I was the type to get offended,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a little hurt by all this. Like I will
Sorry,
kill
guys.
you. I will kill you and your family. And I'm like, dude, it's been 3 days. There's still spam. You don't have to eat us yet.
You told
You
you
don't know when the
told me you
spam's
got
been around?
supplies, buddy.
Yeah, and he would put blue cheese crumble on you.
Oh,
Yeah, I would.
That's
I would
the
that
worst.
time.
the murder's not the sin. The crumbles are the sin.
Yeah, there won't be fresh crab for me to put on you. So the crumbles.
Do you think Paul Rubens was putting blue cheese crumble on it when he was
Thousand Island dressing? That's my guess.
Next comes from a text from I'll go by MG. It goes, and this was the foreshadowing. Oh, good as your boy Murr again. When did he start saying Tour de France so fancy? You can't eat hot dogs with chili and ketchup and say France like you smoke cigarettes with a fancy cigarette stem.
Oh, what?
That's
Tour de
reasonable.
France. Wrong.
That's wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
That's
fuck
right.
the French. Fuck their fucking blue cheese crumbled asses.
They probably made it.
They did.
Is that the last of our comments?
No, actually, I was going to say I got a phone call today from an old coworker of mine, Ken, who out of the blue, mind you, Ken got fired years ago. But Ken's a good dude, solid dude. I just hadn't heard from him in a while, and I was leaving the grocery store. Didn't recognize the phone number, but it was still within business hours, so I still had to pick it up. And he said, "Hey, listen, I saw the Facebook clip where you guys were discussing or debating whether or not sex was a sport. Wes, you said if you do it at an Olympic level, no, but if it was something like a Nathan's hot dog eating contest, that would be acceptable." And he said, "I lost it, and I felt the need to call you and explain that I still enjoy your guys' clips. And thank you, Ken. I appreciate it. You're a class guy." And I commend you for reaching out to me while I was leaving Aldi with ribeyes that I was about to put blue cheese crumble all over this evening.
Little did he know.
Yeah, he may have had a different site.
No, I was at a work lunch with a colleague, and I was like, in conversation, I was like, yeah, I do this, and he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, because I don't typically tell a lot of work people, and
Right.
so I was like, yeah, no, we do this, and he's a young kid, he's cool, and so I was like, yeah, here, check it out, here's the stuff, and then he texts me today while I'm out and about, and he's like, I am geeking, and I was like, nice, wonderful,
That's it.
what we need.
Like-minded people. So, all right, folks. Well, shit. I don't know. Tell us about your blue cheese crumble, Paul Reuben sandwiches with blue cheese crumble.
You stole the words
I got
out
a
of my
little.
mouth.
Oh, did
got
I
a
say we?
I got a little something that I just came scrolling across that I thought is just funny, and we'll leave you with that. So
Huh?
it's a Twitter screenshot. It said Pornhub comments are better than the videos. So here we go. This is a Pornhub comment. Seriously, After 20 minutes of getting to choke this gorgeous girl with his cock, 2 little poots of cum is all he could manage? Pathetic. I registered an account just so I could leave this comment in hopes he sees it one day. Fronting like you're some alpha male while Elizabeth is performing her heart out. And what do you give her? 2 tiddlywinks of cum? I've never felt so personally offended by porn before. You're a real asshole, pal. Courtesy of Da Poo is here.
Good night.